Hey guys, I'm going to teach you something today, something that I think everybody needs to learn and that not many people get to, or they just never get it, or they don't try, or we're gonna learn how to wrap Christmas presents. This is exciting. Well, I guess you're learning to wrap anytime presents, not just Christmas presents, but 'tis the season, so Hanukkah presents, happy Hanukkah thing, I don't know, wrapping presents. We're gonna wrap presents today. I consider myself to be kind of an expert in wrapping because all I've been paid to do for the last year has been wrapping presents. Last Christmas I was in a man's face who was a foot taller than me, screaming at him about how crappy his wrapping was, so you're gonna learn how to do it right. So there are 3 essential things that you need for wrapping presents. You need a hard flat surface, which you will see I'm sitting on it right now. This is essential so you can actually crease the edges so you can get a really nice tight working edge in there. You need enough tape to supply a small army. Trust me, the more tape you have, the better off it'll be. Of course, you need wrapping paper. I recommend that you get some kind of paper that on the inside has some lines so you can measure out easier. Mine doesn't have that, but I'm the expert here. I don't need the lines anymore. If you have a lined inside, it actually helps really well in making sure the edges are even, so you can count out, okay, there's 16 stripes, so I have to count 16 this way and then 16 this way, and there's a method and you'll see it. So let's get started. Alright, so you have your flat surface and you have your wrapping paper. You want to roll it all out. This is just a card table that I have. It's all flattened out on the ground, so I have to worry about chairs, and I can just kind of crawl around the floor as I see fit. This present is in a box, so it makes it a lot easier to wrap. I recommend boxes just because it makes it more fun having people, you know, go through layers upon layers upon layers of things to actually get to their present. But this actually is for a friend of mine. The items came in the box, so all I had to do was reseal it once I made sure they were okay, and this makes it much easier. So, alright, first thing we do is you have to make sure that you're going to be able to reach all the way across. This is obviously not going to cut it. So we're going to slide this over. We're going to measure. That's a little bit too much. What you want to do is constantly make sure that your edges are even, like the box lines up with the edge of the paper. That makes it easier for you so you don't end up with crooked, wonky paper and it doesn't look really weird. And then constantly measure across. You want to make sure that the paper covers over half of the box or whatever you're wrapping, so that way you'll know for sure that when you cut you're going to cover everything. So what I do is I make sure, okay, this looks good, and then I kind of fold over the edge to see where I'm hitting and how deep the paper is when I wrap it. The up and downy bits, the sides, when I wrap the sides. So this looks like it's going to be a little bit too big just because there's only about this much left of the box. So that's going to be a little bit much. So I'm just going to slide this up, not too far. You do a lot of eyeballing. You make sure, you want to make sure that your depth perception and your ability to judge good spatial reasoning. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Spatial reasoning. You want to have good spatial reasoning, and if you don't have good spatial reasoning, well, you're going to learn how to get spatial reasoning really quickly. Okay, so this is good. This is, again, the up and downy bits, the side of the box. It's a little more than half is covered, which is about the same for the top of the box, which is good. So what I'm going to do to make sure that I don't lose my place, I'm going to start taping now, because you can never ever use too little tape when wrapping a gift. You want to tape it in at least 2 places, get nice good pieces, about 1 inch. So you're all good and set. Don't worry about taping the sides just yet, especially because we're going to have to cut that, and we'll just worry about that later. So then we slide it while it's all still attached, and we go like this. And then slide again, and then we go like this to see where we are at. Okay, so I think I'm a little bit crooked because it's not matching up. The edges aren't matching up on my paper, but it's not too bad, and we can fix that by cutting later. It's fine. So what I'm going to do now is, since this is all covered, I am going to cut an overlap in the bottom of the paper. So the edges, you can see the edges, the bottoms. We're going to cut an overlap so everything is going to be covered. That way when you're wrapping, you're not going to worry about it. A good straight cut is really easy. You just keep the scissors half open if you have good sharp scissors. There. Okay. So then we set this aside for right now. And now comes the fun part. We gotta eyeball how long the distance between this and this. Okay, so like I just did with my fingers, it's really easy to measure. If you want to get a tape measure out and a ruler and measure it out that way, you're more than welcome to, but I have a bit more experience in visualizing. Okay, get your fingers, measure how long it is. Okay, I'm about this. So we do that, draw it down to the edge, place your finger and thumb in place, and then cut. We try and get as straight a line as possible. That is not straight. The other thing that the lined insides of wrapping paper does is it makes it a lot easier to cut in straight lines. But we can't have everything. I'm not at work. Thank God I'm not at work right now. Also, I wouldn't be able to film this at work because our logo is all over everything. I don't want you guys to find out where I work. I love you, but not that much. Okay, so there's that. Set this aside. If there's enough, you could probably use this for later, for a different present, and I have something that I can actually use for this. I'm just going to keep this over here. We'll worry about it later. Alright, so now, this is the easy part. You just, actually, I'm going to tape the box down a little bit. It's sticking up on the sides and it's bothering me. So, do that. And I'm going to do that. And there we go. That keeps it a little more solidly in place. Alright, so we just flip it around. Make sure it's all nice and tight. Good tight wrapping is the best wrapping. Alright, so as you can see, I'm overlapping. Everything's good, looks good. Alright, so hold this in place and just tape it shut. This is the easy part. This is the part that everybody knows how to do because it's not that hard. And now we're going to get to the harder bits. Okay, so now we have all these sticky-outy bits on the sides. So we take this, there's a part that overlaps and the part that's underneath. Take the part that's underneath first, and you're going to want to tape it down as much as possible. You got to just get it down, make sure there's a nice triangle shape forming on the side here. You can probably see that a little bit easier than I can, but you got to flatten that out. This is the part where you use as much tape as humanly possible. Just want to tape the crap out of it. Tape the bottom down first. Do not tape them together or else you're just going to be in a huge mess. You're going to have a bad time. Alright, so the bottom part is taped down. The sticky uppy bit, the overlap, alright, that's going to go down next. And we just want to crease out as many edges as possible. Get that as even, as smooth as you can. And then tape it in place. Lots and lots of tape. I'm using about 4 1-inch strips of tape. And then we're going to do the same with the other side. Alright, now we have these sticky-outy bits that we're going to fix. And this is where the hard surface comes in, and this is the part where most people start to get flustered and confused. This is why you get a good hard surface, a table, something, stick it on its side, and then you crease it down like so. so it's nice and flat. Take it and you smooth it down to the side and crease it down so it's nice and flat. Same to the other side. Stick it down, crease. Alright, see, we have nice flat instead of puffy, we have flat. We want flat, as flat as possible. Okay, so now what we do, we take this, we fold it in, and again, you want to stick it down, crease it up to the right up to the edge, and you can see there's a little bit of sticky uppy here. Again, crease it down. Crease as much as possible. Want nice, straight, even. That's okay that that sticks out because we're just gonna go back in with the tape. We're gonna tape it down. Voila, no more problems. All right, so this side again, bring it in, right up against the box. Crease this down. Now some people just fold this up right now because they're like, oh, I'll just have one side done and I'll focus on the other side. Nope, do both sides. That way, when you bring the present up to flip that flap back up, you don't have to worry about messing up your mojo over here. You can just, you'll bring this up this way and you can flatten this out and have it already pre-creased. So again, in and flatten. Tape this one in, flatten, crease, and tape. And again, okay, here's this flat bit. So we're just going to take it, squish it down like this. So we have this, the flap at the end. We can just take this, bring it up, flatten it, because sometimes the creases won't match when they flip the other way. So we have that, and then got a big old piece of tape here, and stick that right there like that. Flip it around. This one is already flattened because we did that. Flipped it up on the end. And there we go, you have a present. And I have a handy supply of things, so if you have things, you can decorate your packages with things, but I just have this one bow. This is the last one I have left. So this goes right here, like that. And then I have a bunch of name tags. So I'm just going to pick one once I find an open package. None of these are open. Here we go. Self-sticking tags. An old roommate of mine gave these to me ages ago, and there's so many of them. So let me get this one, stick it on here, and then I will find a pen later and write the recipient's name on it, and there you go. So there you have it. You will have immaculate presents for whatever occasion that you happen to be wrapping presents for. I will be wrapping Christmas presents for the next couple of days because I have like 3 hours a day to dedicate to things that aren't work related. So this will be what I'm doing both at work and at home for the next, I don't know how many days it is till Christmas. It's 14 days, something like that. So yes. So happy holidays and enjoy your immaculately wrapped presents. Okay, see you guys tomorrow. Bye.